Welcome to a new era, and that era is people power.
Yeah.
And I am the voice of the voiceless.
That is undisputed.
Hey, TBK here again. We are back at the locker room. This Vince McMahon saga is not ending no time soon. But today, we're going to talk about John Laurinitis seemingly confirms Vince McMahon allegations, also claim to be a victim. But the million-dollar question of the day is John Laurinitis a victim? And I got some information from the locker room. You guys get to see that at the lockers, because I am definitely about to air some dirty laundry on Mr. John Laurinitis. His name, along with Vince McMahon's name's been tied to this whole scandal. But it did not start from right now and claim to be a victim. It all started, honestly, with the 2022 Hush scandal. The thing about John Laurinitis is we all know that it's been, he's been quiet, but now his lawyer is speaking on this whole situation, stating it said that former W executive was victim of Vince McMahon Amit lawsuit. It said he is a co-defendant in the trafficking lawsuit against Vince McMahon and WWE last week. He's alleging now. Let's see. This is, like I said, this is getting real crazy. But it says that he alleged that he is also a victim of former WWE chairman. It says, per Tim Marchman of Vice News, Laurinaitis' lawyer Ed Brennan appeared to corroborate the central claims in the suit and by plaintiff and former WWE Janel Grant, while paints his claims as someone who suffered at the hands of McMahon. What does he mean by that? Let's see. It said Mr. Laurinaitis denied the allegations in a misguided complaint and will be vigorously defending these charges in court, not the media. Like the plaintiff, Mr. Laurinaitis also a victim in this case, not a predator. The truth will come out, Brennan said. So it seemed like John Laurinitis finally speaking. It said when asked for further clarification as to how Laurinaitis was also a victim, Brennan responded, read the allegations, read the federal statute. Power, control, deployment, supervisor capacity. Dictatorial S demands with repercussions. If not met, count how many times in the complaint Vince exerts control over both of them. That's something to think about. Says the suit, of course, this is the whole initial suit. Says she said that Grant said she was SA'd by McMahon and Laurinaitis in June 2021 inside Laurinaitis' office in the WWE headquarters while colleagues were busy at their desks. Two of them alleged corner her into terms restraining her when they forced themselves on her and she ignored her pleas to stop. Now, it said that Grant signed a non-disclosure agreement in 2022 to remain silent about her allegations and her relationship with McMahon in exchange for $3 million. Grant is seeking to void the agreement and suing for unspecified damages after payments allegedly stopped after she received her first $1 million. Now, this is crazy with John Laurinitis, but the thing about John Laurinitis, do you believe him, though? That's the thing. Can we believe John Laurinitis? Do we believe in this whole thing? Is he really a victim of this? Is John Laurinitis really a victim? Because John Laurinitis his name is just like really dirty right now. It's all in the mud. But the thing about it is, John Laurinitis, you were involved in these scandals, and this ain't the only scandal you was involved in. Your name's tied to everything, and that's the crazy part about it. Thing about John Laurinitis, he doesn't have a good track record with current or former employees. He just does not have a good track record, and I know that he wants to clear his name, but his track record don't look good. And I hope Mr. Brennan, Edward Brennan, his lawyer, really clears his name because he's going to need it. The thing about John Laurinitis is, what can he do? What proof does he have on Vince McMahon? What dirt does he have on him? Because it seems like he's ready to, pretty much spill the beans on Vince McMahon. So he's going to spill a lot of info on him. And I think that's what it's headed to. But we're reading another article. If you guys remember, John Laurinitis was released back in 2022. Following the whole Hush scandal. He was released. But the thing about it is, let's read that article too. Remember, WWE had fired executive John Laurinitis and wake of McMahon's sexual misconduct scandal. So let's see. It says, after being placed on leave amid Vince McMahon hush money scandal, John Laurinitis officially gone from WWE. It reported that he was quietly let go from WWE at some point within the last week or so. At the time, the 60-year-old Laurinaitis was WWE head of talent relations until being put on administrative leave in June. Let's see what else. It said that the Wall Street reported that the board of directors was investigating McMahon and Laurinaitis over a secret $3 million settlement that McMahon agreed to pay a former WWE paralegal who he had an affair with. So this is Janel Grant then, because the $3 million is over Janel Grant. So this was her back then. She was the paralegal. And it said the report included that he had given paralegal to John Laurinitis like a toy. It said that they also uncovered other older non-disclosure agreements and found claims by former female WWE employees of misconduct by Laurinitis and McMahon. So back then in 2022, this was about Janel Grant, but now 2024, fast forward now to that, we're hearing about her now. So he was released following this whole thing. So like I said, his name's connected to this whole thing. But let's see. Now I know that there's gonna be, we have some people that talks about this because, like I said, he was not a good executive run by talent. They did not like John. The thing about it is, there's more info on this. What I'm going to do now is, let's see. We're going to talk more about it. We'll definitely talk more about it. We're going to bring up the whole thing by Renee Dupree and Paul London, react to the claims that they said about John Laurinitis. Let's get into it. Let's see what they have to say, and I will react to that. And not just Renee Dupree and Paul London, but there are a couple others who have something to say about John Laurinitis. Let's see.
They did the time.
Let's bring it back to Johnny. Let's bring it back to Johnny.
Back to the topic at hand here. So, okay, so Vince was banging this like 40-year-old paralegal that he met in his fucking condominium, right? So he hires her. She doesn't even have like the credentials to be a paralegal, So then he gets tired of her, gives her a position to be Johnny Ace's assistant, and apparently Johnny's having fucking sexual relations with her at the same time that his wife, who's the Bella twins' mother, is going through brain cancer. Fucking yeah.
While he's married to the Bella's mom.
Yes.
Oh.
And dude, I could tell you, I'll tell you off camera.
Sure.
Let's just say it'd be very awkward to be sitting at that table. The things I know about that family, especially Big Johnny.
Oh my God!
And I heard it from a very reliable source. I'm not naming names, but damn. Anyway,
I mean, just a detestable human being. Absolutely detestable human being.
Yeah. But here's the fucked up part. People are gonna think, oh well, they're bitter. Dude, listen, if you people understood the fucking low-life pieces of dog shit that work there, and those are the ones that you have to kiss ass to and try to be like, because you gotta fucking get along with the higher ups, and what do higher ones? They want people to be just like them. I cannot be like that. I wasn't raised like that. I don't want to become.
That's why I was aloof and disinterested. Yeah, fuck you.
Right. Yeah, that's why I was a fucking not very sociable. No, I didn't want to socialize with you pieces of shit.
Boy,
All right, that's Rene Dupree and Paul London. So you heard it right there. They said that Vince and John Laurinitis messed around with a 4-year-old paralegal. Said too that while he's married to, Kathy Colas, the mother of the Bella twins, but this is just getting crazy and crazy. It's getting real bad. But John Laurinitis, like I said, he was involved back in 2022. He was fired during the Hush scandal, and there were a lot of people, as you see right now, that did not like John Laurinitis, and he treated people unfairly, for what I've heard. It said too that he wasn't the best executive, that he pushed his weight around. He did whatever he could to get over. Very, very power manipulative, and he knew he could do that because Vince McMahon always backed him up. He always knew that, because he was originally hired by Jim Ross as a road agent in 2001, because John Laurinitis, I believe, came from the WCW as the executive following the whole, WWE buying out WCW back in 2001. Then John Laurinitis, he later on was a senior and later executive vice president of talent relations from 2004 to 2012. In 2012, he became a road agent again, and I think pretty much all the way until his release in 2022. And he just had a bad reputation. I know he replaced Jim Ross as the head of talent in 2004, and I know Jim Ross feels some type of way about John Laurinitis because he hired him and he took his job, and pretty much people liked, for what I've heard, they liked Jim Ross better as executive vice president of relations way over John Laurinitis. They liked him way better. It's just John did not treat people the right way, and it's just I could barely hear any positive things about John. It's all negative, and that's just not a good look on him. Depending on of course what's going on now, and now John Laurinitis is putting this whole that he's a victim and saying that he, that he was basically forced to. Seems like he's about his claim by his lawyer that he was forced to do things he didn't want to do. But is he really a victim in a situation, or is he a volunteer? Did he sign up to do this? Did he enjoy it, or he was just basically coerced by Vince McMahon to do what he got to do? Because Vince McMahon is his boss. But Johnny, he sounds like an egotistical, manipulative man that will do whatever he can to get what he wants, and that's just not a good look for him. Like I said, I hope his lawyer is very good, Mr. Edward Brennan, into clearing his name, because if Vince is going down, I can see Johnny going down too. But it seems like Johnny Laurinaitis may have some information on Vince. It seems like he's ready to give Vince up, because now his name's involved, and it's really the first time you heard Johnny Laurinaitis speak since the whole 2022 Hush scandal. So I know the Bellator's made a statement saying that they're not involved in any way, shape, or form regarding this issue. That they were just shocked by the whole thing. See, when he went down, it makes not just himself bad, but the Bella twins, their mother, and everything. They did make a statement about it, but I don't know. I'm wondering how his wife feels about this or what's going on. Because who knows? She may try to divorce him. She may try to separate from him. Who knows? Who knows what's going on? We don't know what's going on. But I know it's not a good thing. And The question is, do you believe John Laurinitis? Do you believe this stuff of what's going on with him? Is John Laurinitis doing anything like he's back into a corner to clear his name, or he really does have some ocular proof of what's going on? Because it's not a good, like I said, not a good look. He's gonna have to do a whole lot to clear his name, and he better back it up very, very good. So that's all I gotta say. The whole thing, he has to back it up with what's going on. But John Laurinitis, I mean, his name is tied to everything on here. It's just tied to everything. That's the only thing I don't like about this whole situation. How can he be cleared? How can he be cleared? How can he clear his name off all of this? And he's like, besides Vince, like the top culprit behind this. That's the thing about that situation. So I don't know. It's just very, very sketchy with John Laurinitis. Very sketchy with him. Because like I said, his reputation is already bad. It's went from bad to worse. That's the way I see it. But who knows? I know that this is far from over, and there's going to be a lot more information that will be spilled despite of what's going on. Like I said, we'll have to see what happens, but I do know also that with this issue, that like I said, Bella Twins, they made a statement about it, you know, and they were just they were just shocked, very shocked at what's going on, and know that they don't represent that kind of behavior. So let's see what they have to say about this. Let's see. It says that they're shocked and disheartened by WWE's assault and the trafficking claims. This is something we don't stand for or condone from anyone, no matter who they are. They said this on Instagram. Said they are shocked and disheartened with the recent allegation against the members of WWE. Said it's been a lot to process since we found out this past week, just as all you did. Let's see what else they have to say. Said we want all women to feel safe and supported in the workplace and in their everyday lives. So that's what they have to say about that. But John Laurinitis, there's more people that has something to say about Mr. Laurinitis. It's not just that, but let's see what else is going on. I believe that Teddy Long, you know, the former SmackDown general manager, who started off as a referee, many those don't know, he has something to say about Mr. Laurinaitis as well. Let's see what Mr. Teddy Long has to say.
Johnny stem from then? Because I suspect you knew him from WCW times.
Right, I was shocked to know how he felt about me, because he'd always come up grinning and laughing and, hey Teddy, good to see you. Glad you could come back, you know, make it back here and all that, and you know, and just to find out, you know, that what he done to me for no reason, just because I say I done my job. If I hadn't done my job, I wouldn't have been there. So you can't say it's that. But he tried to get people to take my place. He brought in this girl, I forget her name now. She came in, Tiffany. I think she came in and was my assistant in ECW. Mm-hmm. And that girl came to me and told me, she says, Laurinaitis brought me in to take your job, Teddy, because me and her got cool, and I tried to help her with her promos and stuff. I was nice to her, and so she came and told me that. She said, he brought me in here to take your job. He brought Christopher Nowinski. He was another one, Palmer. What's the Palmer Cannon guy?
Yeah.
When he came, he brought him in to take my job. But nobody, there's only one Teddy Long. It's just
WWE Talent Relations head Jim Ross or Johnny Ace?
I'd rather work under Jim Ross, you know, instead of working on Laurinaitis. Laurinaitis, like I said, man, I cannot believe this man. Man, he's one of the worst people on this planet. Him and
So Teddy Long, this is that's what he has to say about John Laurinitis. He said compared to Jim Ross, who used to be the talent relations head before Johnny, say he'd rather work under Jim, and that he didn't like being under John Laurinitis, that John Laurinitis was trying to get Teddy Long out of there by replacing him with Tiffany, who was the on-screen general manager of ECW when Teddy Long was over ECW. For those who don't know, her name was Taryn Terrell. That was her name. And also, not only that, she's also the ex-wife of Drew McIntyre. So that was her name too. Taryn Terrell, ex-wife of Drew McIntyre, but she said that she told Teddy that that John Laurinitis was trying to replace him with her, not just on screen but off screen as well. But this is getting bad. Like I said, he does not have a good reputation. John Laurinitis does not have a good reputation, and his name's getting worse and worse. I really hope he clears his name, because if he don't, he will go down the same rabbit hole or similar rabbit hole as Vince McMahon, because his name's been tied this whole time. But like I said, now one more response to this whole thing. One more response, and it's coming from Mr. Jim Ross, who was the head of talent relations before John Laurinitis, and also the guy that initially hired John Laurinitis, as I stated earlier. Now, he has some stuff about John Laurinitis too, and it's, like I said, like everybody else, nothing good. But I know he worked very close with John, because he hired him and he took his position. So let's see what Mr. Jim Ross got to say. Good old JR. Good old JR. Let's see.
Laurinaitis. And that's sad to say. That's how it worked. And I hired him. I gave him a job when he needed it. And then I got, I don't think he treated me quite right. Again, he was wanting to show Vince he's a better manager than JR and all these things. And so now his ass is without a job, and he deserves the goddamn misery that he's living, that I perceive that he's living. And I didn't like how he treated me. So, but this is not about me. This is about the developmental program. But I started losing a lot of confidence in him. Johnny just wanted to be sure he was seen with Vince. You know, he's a good-looking kid. You know, all that stuff. And he hadn't had Bell's palsy like I had. He had a leg up on his look. Vince likes looks, which is always astonishing to me. How the hell that I was on the air that long, 26 years, with a less than advantageous look. And it's one of the reasons I say is because none of you bastards are going to outwork me.
Right.
I'm going to be the best at what I do in the business. That was always my goal. It's still my goal every week. But it's just the competitiveness in me. But yeah, Ty Bailey seemed like a decent guy. He was benign. He'd been neutered and spoon-fed what to say and how to look and all those things. So I'll say this: Laurinaitis played the game, played it well, and but I didn't appreciate it. I don't think he treated the talent as fairly. He had agendas, and I'm not saying I didn't ever have an agenda. I'd be lying. I didn't have as many as he did, in my opinion. So, you know, it was just, again, politics, man. Politics.
Help me understand when you say he had agendas. What does that mean?
Well, he had an agenda that he's going to placate Vince.
Yeah.
I wanted to placate Vince too. So I'm not saying I was different. I just handled it differently.
Right.
I made decisions without Vince's. I didn't have to get in a situation where I'm going to have to okay everything, get everything okayed through the old man. He trusted me. I don't know that Vince ever really truly trusted Laurinaitis. We've kind of seen how that relationship has worked out and evolved. I don't want to be in that position. I went on trusting Laurinaitis.
Okay, now that's Jim Ross speaking on John Laurinitis as well. Like I said, just not a good look on him right now. John Laurinitis, he's done so many people wrong, and then you heard Jim Ross. It got so bad he said he deserves everything he received, and he's talking about his release back in 2022. You know, now some could say that maybe Jim Ross feels kind of salty because he took his job as the head of talent relations back in 2004. I don't think that's the case. I think he was just upset of how John treated people, including himself, and it just was not good at all. It's just everything coming full circle. I did not know that at the time what Rene Dupree was saying, that his wife had brain cancer at the time he was messing around with a 40-year-old paralegal, which is not Janel Grant, because she's obviously not 40 years old, she's younger. But yeah, it's a bad look on him. There's no other way. But now we're getting to the point where John Laurinitis, he wants to say he's victim to this whole thing, and he wants to clear his name. Do you believe the stuff he's saying? That's the question. Do you believe this stuff? Because I know that more truth and more info is going to come out. I just hope that John Laurinitis backs up his claim of what he's saying, and that I don't think that he is clear on this. I don't think he is a victim. That's my opinion. You guys in the live chat and also playback, let me know, do you think John Laurinitis is a victim? Is he a victim? That's the thing. And do you believe what he's saying? I do believe that maybe it was not his initial plan, but we can't say that he did not enjoy some of the stuff going on, because it was John Laurinitis and Vince McMahon involved in the three-way with the feces in Janel Grant's hair, and they told her, take it. They tell her, take it, do what you gotta do. And they said that she was trying to tell them to stop. They said no. It sounded like they were both forcing on her. Why didn't John Laurinitis, if that's the case, alleged, why didn't he stop then? If he felt like, he didn't want to be a part of it. Was he really a victim of this whole thing? Was he a victim, or did he just enjoy the whole pleasure of it? That's the thing. Is Johnny really a victim of this whole scandal? Because he's going down in this scandal if there's any more proof on him or any documentation. And it's going to ruin his relationship with his wife, Kathy Colas. It's going to ruin everything that he's built. Like I said, it's the first time that he has someone speaking for him this whole time. But this thing's getting real deep of the whole John Laurinitis situation. They said that I read a report too that with the whole Janel Grant, her lawyer, saying that more names, they said her inbox is full, that more names will speak up. And then that's just what's going on now. So that's what I've heard. We don't know who, but I know that more people want to speak up on this matter. And there's a lot more to uncover. Now, we heard the names so far, of course, Vince, obviously, John Laurinitis, Brock Lesnar, allegedly Kevin Dunn, in my opinion. I said that on here before. Could be Michael Hayes alleged. Could be him. Could alleged be Bruce Pritchard as well, because Ronda Rousey already said something about Bruce Pritchard. But I feel like there's a lot more names that will be unveiled, and it's going to be a lot of information uncovered. But it's just it won't be a good look for John Laurinitis if he does not have any proof. So, because he's been out of a job since then, I don't think he's working anywhere right now. I guess he's being quiet now, but he had a bad reputation. If you saw heard what other people had to say about him, Jim Ross, Teddy Long, Rene Dupree, and Paul London, they had nothing good to say about this man. Like I said, no good track record at all, and it's just getting worse and worse. The more that's found on him, the worse it's going to get, obviously. And something is definitely, I feel like something big is definitely, more big stuff is going to come up, whatever the case may be. And it's going to get real nasty out here, because I feel like we're just getting to the meat and potatoes of the whole scandal, and it's only more avail because we already heard so many names involved already. And like I said, remember this day back from 2022, and this is when he was released. So this is literally almost 2 years later, because it was June 2022. So this is far from over. But do you guys in live chat believe John Laurinitis' claims? Is he a victim? And should there be justice for John Laurinitis, or should there not be justice for John Laurinitis? Only time will tell what's going to happen next with him. But I know more people will be speaking up. That is definitely going to happen. We just don't know who's going to speak up, and we don't know when they're going to speak up. But I feel like more women will speak up on there to back Janel Grant, or from their own experience that they had with Vince McMahon or John Laurinitis alleged. So only time will tell, but a lot more will uncover. It just matter who, what, and when. Because all this is going to definitely go to court, like they said, not the media. And like I said, you guys let me know if you believe John Laurinitis. I believe that he probably was forced into it, but he didn't speak up soon enough. I think he could have got out of situation, but he stayed longer than he should. And now he's saying something because his name's involved and he lost his job, a year and a half ago. So I believe that everybody's going to try to do their best to take Vince down. Not just John, but Brock Lesnar, everybody. So I believe that they'll do whatever they can at any cost to bring him down. So that's just my whole take on that. But that's all I have regarding the whole John Laurinitis seemingly confirms Vince McMahon allegations, and also claims to be a victim. And it's the locker room for February 2nd. Is John Laurinitis a victim? You guys let me know if he's a victim or not a victim, or there's more information that maybe I did not see. So thank you all for coming out to the locker room. Anything else happens following the scandal, the locker room, we will come back to the lockers to cover it. You guys get back to what you do. Locker room session's over. Soon 2 videos will pop up for Toxic Ring Scandal on YouTube. From extraordinary athlete to debunked superstar. Second video will be former executive chairman's troubled childhood. Until then, it is OUT.